Hello students, I am Dr. Saroj Hole. So today I will teach you the race around condition. The truth table of JK flip-flop assumes that the inputs are independent of the output. However, because of the feedback connection at the input, there is difficulty with the JK flip-flop constructed. So consider for the example J is 1, K is 1 and Q is 0. So when the clock pulse is applied, the output becomes Q is equal to 1. This change takes place after a time interval delta t equal to the propagation delay through NAND gates in series. If clock pulse is still there, since J is 1, K is 1 and Q is 1, the output will become 0. Thus, for the duration Tp of the clock pulse, the output will oscillate back and forth between 0 and 1. And at the end of the pulse, the value of Q may be 0 or 1, that is ambiguous. So, this situation is known as race around condition. It can be avoided if Tp is less than delta t. However, in practice, delta t is very small. There are two possible solutions. One is to convert wide duration clock pulse into the spikes using differentiator circuit and then apply to the clock input, or construct another circuit known as master slave JK flip flop. So we will see the concept of triggering levels before going to MS master slave JK flip flop. In a simple clock flip-flop, when the input of a flip-flop is changed, output will change as long as clock is high, whether the flip-flop is SR or JK. When the clock goes low, the state present at the input will be stored or latched. In case of SR flip-flop, whereas in case of JK flip-flop, output gets complemented. Usually, it is necessary to store the input of a flip-flop instantaneously, and for that we need a very narrow clock pulse. Such narrow clock pulse is also required in case of JK flip-flop to avoid race around condition. The square pulse can be converted into positive and negative going spikes using RC differentiator circuit. So this is a JK flip-flop to which clock is connected and a square wave is given to the RC differentiator circuit. It will produce spikes. So this is a JK flip-flop using edge triggering. The values of R and C are so chosen that RC time constant is much smaller than the clock pulse width, and hence the circuit converts the pulses using positive and negative going spikes. So the narrow positive spikes enable the internal gates for an instant. The narrow negative spikes does nothing. Thus, during positive spikes, gate is enabled. Flip-flop follows its truth table, and this kind of operation is called as edge triggering because the flip-flop responds only when the clock is in transition. Transition means 0 to 1, 1 to 0 changes. So the triggering occurs on the positive going edge of the clock. So if it is referred as a positive edge triggering. Sometimes triggering on negative edge is better suited for more suitable to the application. In this case, the internal inverter can complement the clock pulse before it reaches to the NAND gate. So the trailing and falling edge of a clock activates the gate. This is known as negative edge triggering. So it shows the circuit symbol of positive and negative edge triggered flip-flops. So it is positive edge triggered flip-flop, clock is connected, and in negative edge trigger clock symbol is with bubble. Okay. So bubble indicates negative edge. Now we will move towards master slave JK flip-flops. So the two SR flip-flops cascaded with feedback from the output of a second to the input of a first. So first stage is known as a master, whereas the second is slave. Clock pulses are applied to the master, the same are inverted and then applied to the slave. As seen previously, for normal operation, PR is 1, CR is 1 and must be held for PR is 1, CR is 1, clock is 1, the master is enabled and its operation follows the JK truth table. At the same time, since clock negative clock is 0, the slave remains disabled or cannot change the state, so the output QN does not change the state during TP. So and hence The rest around difficulty is removed. After the pulse passes CK is 0, so that the master is inhibited and clock bar is 1, which causes slave to be enabled. So there are two flip-flops connected. Output of one is connected to the input of other one. Clock is again inverted and given to the second flip-flop. So one is positive edge trigger, other is negative edge trigger. So that's why it takes some time to enable the second flip-flop. The slave is on SR flip-flop and follows its truth table. If S is 1 and R is 0, then Q is 1. Or if S is 0, R is 1, Q is 0. Thus, in the case of MSJK flip-flop, during a clock pulse, output does not change, but QM follows JK logic, and at the end of the pulse, the value of QM is transferred to Q. Now D flip-flop. JK flip-flop is modified into D flip-flop by adding an inverter between J and K input. So that K is always the complement of J. The input is named as D input. So it shows the logic circuit, the logic symbol and the truth table of D flip-flop. If Dn is 1, then Jn is 1, Kn is 0, and hence Qn plus 1 is 1. If Dn is 0, then Jn is 0, Kn is 1, and Qn plus 1 is 0. So the output Qn plus 1 after the pulse equals the input Dn before the pulse, and therefore D flip-flop is used to provide delay. The bit on the D line is transferred to the output at the next clock pulse, and hence flip-flop functions as 1-bit delay device. So this is a D flip-flop with inverter. So logic diagram, logic symbol and truth table. So when D is 1, output is 1. When D is 0, output is 0. So the SR flip-flop can also be converted into D flip-flop by adding the inverter between S and R, and then there is no ambiguous state. Since SR is equal to R is not possible. Now we will move towards T flip-flop. The JK flip-flop is modified into T by connecting J and K together. The unit changes the state with each clock pulse, acts as a toggle switch, and hence the name T. Okay, so T flip-flop, when T is 0, output is Qn, previous state. When T is 1, output is inversion of Q. So this is JK converted into T flip-flop, the logic symbol and truth table. So when J is 1, K is 1, Qn plus 1 is Qn bar, and when J and K is equal to 0, then Qn plus 1 is Qn. According to the truth table of JK flip-flop, the T flip-flop is also known as a complementing flip-flop. If T is 1, the clock pulse are applied, the flip-flop behaves as divide by 2 circuit because it gives 0 to 1 transition at first clock pulse and 1 to 0 at the next clock pulse. That is, 2 input pulses are required to have 1 output pulse. So if the clock input square has a frequency of 10 kHz, the output of T flip-flop will have frequency 5 kHz. Thus one flip-flop does the operation of frequency division by 2. So the flip-flop forms the basic building block of one of the important digital systems, that is a counter, which is studied in the next section. So T flip-flop output you can observe. Okay. So for one total clock, half of the positive pulse only comes at the output. Now we are going to study the counters. So one of the most versatile subsystem in digital electronics is the counter. Counter is basically constructed using flip-flop and is the example of sequential circuit. Counters count the number of clock pulses arriving at its input. The output of the counter is binary, or the BCD equivalent of the number of clock pulses applied at its input. Depending upon the nature of the output, one way to classify the counter is the binary counter and the BCD counter. Counters are basically useful to count the clock pulses applied at the input. Since clock pulses occur at known intervals, therefore counter can be used as an instrument for measuring time and therefore period or frequency. Many physical parameters or events can be converted into pulses, and hence counters can be used to indicate temperature, vibrations, etc., or to count events. So there are two types of counters: asynchronous or ripple counter and synchronous or parallel counters. So we will see the flip-flop as memory device. Flip-flops are used to store binary data. One flip-flop stores one bit. For storage 4-bit binary numbers, we require 4 flip-flops. In order to store the logic 1, we have to set the flip-flop. In order to store logic 0, we have to reset the flip-flop. Flip-flop stores the bits as long as power supply is on. In digital systems like computer, we need to store binary data. The digital element used to store data is known as memory. In case of a computer, memory is one of important element. Such memory element contains group of flip-flop arranged in such a way that we can read or write the binary data into it. So we will see the asynchronous mod 16 binary counter. If the output of a counter is proportional to the binary equivalent of number of clock pulses applied at its input, it is known as a binary counter. So in the following circuit, 4-bit binary counter, as seen, it is obtained by cascading the flip-flop such that output of previous flip-flop is connected to the clock input of the next flip-flop. So this is a 4-bit binary counter. J and K, they are connected to VCC, and Q connected to the input of clock of each flip-flop. Note that the output of A flip-flop drives the B flip-flop, B flip-flop drives C flip-flop, and C flip-flop drives the D flip-flop. The J and K inputs of all flip-flops are connected to VCC, that is, J flip-flop is converted to T flip-flop, in which each flip-flop changes the state with a negative transition of its clock input. When clock pulse is applied and it goes negative, flip-flop A changes the state. A flip-flop has to change the state to trigger B flip-flop. B has to change the state before it can trigger C. So here C has to change the state before it can trigger D. So the trigger moves through the flip-flop like a ripple in water. The counters in which output of one flip-flop drives another are called as ripple counters or asynchronous counters. So we will see the working of a asynchronous counter or ripple counter. So before application of any clock pulse, initially all flip-flops are reset to produce the output DCBA is equal to 0000. All flip-flops can be reset by applying clear pulse simultaneously to all flip-flops. When the first clock pulse is applied, the flip-flop A changes its states on the negative going part of the pulse. So the flip-flop A output goes from logic 1 to 0, which is positive change, and hence flip-flop B does not respond to it. Since the flip-flop B has not changed its state, the flip-flop C will not change its state, and since C has not changed, so D will not change. So at the end of a first clock pulse, output condition is DCBA is equal to 0001. When the second clock pulse is applied, flip-flop A changes its states at the negative edge of pulse, and A flip-flop output goes in from 1 to 0, a negative change. This negative going change triggers the B flip-flop, therefore B goes from 0 to 1. This positive going change in B has no effect on C, since C has not changed. No change in D flip-flop. So at the end of a second clock pulse, the output condition of 4 flip-flops is DCBA is equal to 0010. When the third clock pulse is applied, flip-flop A changes its states from 0 to 1. This is a positive going change and has no effect on the B flip-flop. So B has not changed, and hence C and further D will not change. So at the end of a third clock pulse, the output condition of 4 flip-flop is DCBA is equal to 0011. Thus we can see that the output condition of 4 flip-flops is binary equivalent of number of clock pulses applied at its input. It shows the truth table of 4-bit binary counter. So the clock pulse is DCBA, clock is 0 out, so 000 up to 17, up to 15 1111. At the point 16 it reset, and at the 17 clock pulse it is again start recounting. Okay. So since the circuit gives the output which is binary equivalent of number of clock pulses applied at its input, it is known as a binary counter. At the end of 15th clock pulse, the flip-flop output is DCB is 1111, and the circuit counts up to maximum 15. When 16th clock pulse is applied, A goes from 1 to 0, a negative going change that causes B to go from 1 to 0, another negative going change. This force C to go from 1 to 0, this negative going change causes D to go from 1 to 0. So the entire counter resets and the output condition of flip-flop becomes DCB is equal to 0 0 0 0. When 17th clock pulse is applied, counter has starts recounting, shows the waveforms associated with 4-bit binary counter. Okay, so since there are 16 different states at the output, this circuit is known as a mod 16 counter. You should just see the clock pulses. In clock 1 to 16 is there. QA is starting from pulse of a clock, and it stops at second pulse. QB starts from second pulse, QC starts from fourth, and QD starts from 8th pulse. Okay, so this is a waveform of 4-bit counter. So from the previous waveforms, we see that the waveform at QA is 1/2 of the frequency of clock, at QB is 1/4 of the clock frequency, and QC is 1/8 of the clock frequency, and QD is 1/16 of the clock frequency. Thus, counter is also frequency divider. Okay, so today we will stop here. Thank you. In next lecture, we will see down counter.